Like I figure I didn't conceive it as cheat. Like when she was screwing Cooper and stuff, and she screwed a couple of the neighbors. I didn't consider that cheating because I wasn't screwing her and I didn't want to.
Oh wow, she was screwing the neighbors.
It's, I think like the last time I had an instance with her was like month 7 or 8, and it's only because she kind of forced me into it. I had just got back. I was down there talking to the kids doing something, and she called me upstairs and literally closed the door and tried to seduce me, and I was stuck between a rock and a hard place. Like, if I don't do this, this is about to be a bad situation. But if I do this, I'm gonna feel like I do, but which one can I handle easier? And I used to tell her that, like, it's easier for me to handle the stress of the issue than it is to even let you know it exists. And generally, it kind of went out like that a lot.
Wow. So, okay. Yeah, this is very deep. And I know it just seems like, okay, so with Cooper, I don't know if you were aware of this. Cooper woke up in my interview that he found out that Patrick was pimping her out. I don't know if you were aware of that or something about he was pimping her. So, did you ever have any, like...
Because her and Patrick been fooling with each other since they was really young. Like, really young. They met, I think, in school or something. And so, when she was younger, like before she had her first and stuff, even before should have been sexually mature, they was doing stuff. And so I'm pretty sure I never witnessed any of that directly, but I'm pretty sure that it was happening when she, as an adult as well, at some point in time. It just logically made sense. If she can make money off of it and he can make money off of it, it fits the bill of what they would do.
Wow, okay, so I definitely feel you. So you said, okay, at what point did you become comfortable with Patrick? Because you said at first you were uncomfortable, and I definitely understand that. I'm like, hold on, how does Patrick always get in the equation? He's always there in every relationship except this one.
Well, her idea is that Patrick, every so often, because, he be wanting to try to manipulate himself back into getting some with her, and that grace of it, I guess. Mm-hmm. Circles his way back around with, $20, $30, $40 every 3 or 4 months. And that's how she's looking at it. Like in all the videos where she say, I call him, because I need him. But you guys see what he does when he gets there. She didn't need him. He just had a few dollars. And she was broke as all get out. And she was willing to go through that for 20, 30, 40 bucks. But yeah, that's pretty much what that boiled down to. But I never was comfortable with Patrick. I was just really uncomfortable with him at first. And towards the middle of it, I was just neutral. I didn't really give a squat about it. I even told him at one point in time, I don't even care no more, dude. But when I first met him and stuff, I was telling him, like, because I thought that I had real feelings for her. She was selling me on this dream that was not there. She even made the two of us sit down and have a man-to-man about who loved her more. Forced us to. She sat right there in front of us to see who would break first. But that was the time she tried to contest or make me compete or profess my love and show it in this grandiose measure that was irrefutable. Yeah, only she in the most epic fashion each time. Every single time. After I exonerated myself from the Steve Wilkos show and she was crying and saying, I just wanted to know the truth. Less than 5 minutes later, them crocodile tears was gone. We was in a van, headed to the airport. She was on the phone talking to Patrick and another guy who she was cheating on with. Well, she was fucking around.
What in the For the Love of Angelic is going on? Wait, she had another guy? How did you find out about that?
We were driving back from the Steve Wilkos. This is less than 5 minutes after we finished recording what y'all saw on TV. Y'all saw her at the end crying and talking about how she just wants to know the truth and she gonna still be classy like she is and all of that. Less than 5 minutes left in a van, headed back to the airport. And she was on the phone talking to whoever she was screwing and jumping back and forth between him and Patrick. I never forget that day because that was the day that I got the majority of my mental power back. Because that was the only day that she feared me more than I feared her. For that instance, I never made her cry. I never broke her like that. But that day she cried and she was scared of me. And she was so scared she even hung up on Patrick and dude and ended up calling her grandmother to try to calm me down. Even the dude who was driving the van called Steve Wilkos show back and was like, look, I think dude about to lose it. You got to get the hell out of this van. We on the freeway. And the dude was for it. So he was super freaking out. I had to literally, in the middle of the freeway, driving 70, fall to the back to stop from, grabbing the wheel. I was pissed. Like, how dare you? Every single time that you make me do these grandiose crap, and I'm proven beyond a reasonable doubt, you spit in my face. After she cheated on me with the neighbor boy she made me fight to prove my love for her, and I didn't beat him beyond all senselessness, she screwed him. Just to say, well, you're not going to do how I want. And way out at the end, when he told me the truth, she rebuked him. Went to him and beat him in front of me. As he swore up and down he was telling the truth and asking for my forgiveness, she beat him in front of his boys and me, smacking him in the face. She even grabbed him by the ear and drug him over to my car. Yes. And he was telling the truth. What? And I knew he was telling the truth. Nobody would risk that. Ain't nobody gonna say, look, dude, I can prove I'm not lying. Put the gun in my mouth. If you think I'm lying, pull the trigger.
Was you scared?
Literally.
Was you nervous?
He told me, I was like, for real? Because he got in my car when he told me about it. He was scared to get in my car. I didn't give him that car to get in the car, dude. He got it.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Like, what was going through your mind, Joseph? This is deep.
With that instance, because this was just after the clubbing scene thing, like 6th, 7th month, and so a part of me had started thinking maybe we could make something of it, and then this happens like a week or so later, and I'm like, nope. And there it is. I got sucked into that illusion again. It does not exist. And so I started trying to get my mind to see it exactly as it was. And so I started relating it like a fast food franchise. Like, okay, you see the images on TV where the Big Mac be like, try the newest, whatever. And you see it, and it looked like, okay, that shit look good as hell. And you go order it, and that's not what you get. I started thinking of it like that. Like, what she's selling me is what I see on TV, but that's not edible. It's not real food.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, so I got good at through the charade pretty quickly, and then I got better at getting what I wanted out of most situations, usually by making her think she won. I would take the lesser of it because I wasn't trying to get 100%. As bad as she was at it, I was like, hell, if I get 25% of it, I'm going to settle. Especially since I was only like 30 anyway. She don't know that, but
yeah, and at that part, you probably was deep in. You know what I'm saying? And
I was so locked in the kids at that point, I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, and I heard you definitely, you love them kids. And I know, like, that's what you definitely, like, how was your relationship? What would you say your relationship was like with the kids?
Like, and after all of the demand and everything, finishes and stuff out with the court stuff, I can tell you all of the most awesome stories ever about me and the kids. I mean, we had so many good fellows counted elders. Very bad I had with her, I had a good instance with the kid. Or with the kids, and Lou, the same thing with positive and negative. So, I'm not going to say every instance, the kids, we we had a few instances where, you know, they being a little stubborn and throwing a little temper tantrum or something, but it's usually pretty easy for me to rectify. Like, I ain't never had to strike for it. Well, I'm not like that, but I ain't never had to even concede anything like that. Kids are pretty neutral-minded, especially when they're really little. So, you know, if they want something, they throwing a temper tantrum, all you gotta do is stare at them or something. And once their mind got focused off that thing, then you offer them something and contingent to what they want, but to meet your demands. And then they usually fall in line because their brain was focused on what they wanted anyway. And they were just throwing a temper tantrum because they wanted it and didn't know how to get it.
Right. So did you, at the time, did she try to have kids with you?
Oh, yeah. We tried a bunch of times. She used to get mad at me because I couldn't get her pregnant. Then I figured out after a while, one of two things. Either I need to get checked and make sure I can have children, or B, maybe my sperm was like, Maybe oil and hot oil and water don't mix.
Are you glad that you
put them together, but they won't, you know, bond?
Right. Exactly. But are you glad now that everything happened, that you didn't have kids with her? You feel like it was just not meant to be?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That should be a relief.
IQ of 172. If we produced a child, I would definitely be checking to be sure that the child's IQ isn't below 7. Like, I would really start to rationalize if there's going to be some mental deficiency of some sort.
Man, wow. So at what point did you know Muriel lacked sense, I guess you would say? Like, where did you know that she lacked smarts? Like, what moment made you realize?
Like literally, like slower than a box of rocks. I think I told the story the other day of when we went to her family's retreat. And we were, when I was on TY's page, I guess you guys call it pages, but speaking yesterday. So we were at a retreat at her grandmother's cabin, and there was a few other couples, 4 or 5 of us, and we were all, you know, having a good time. And we went out, me and the guys and stuff, got firewood, and we light up a fire, and we're sitting around a fire, and all the they girls come out and they're sitting around a fire too. And the girls are laughing and talking about whatnot stuff, and me and the dudes are talking and everything. And the dudes break out a couple of bottles of alcohol. I know some whiskey, some vodka, and something else. And then one of the girls go grab a couple of shot glasses from the cabin. Girls come out and the dudes are pouring drinks, you know, into the shot glasses. The girls are taking drinks and the dudes are drinking out of the bottles. She's inside talking with her grandmother in the cabin about maybe 30 minutes or so after we've been sitting out there, and it's almost pitch black. It is pitch black outside. She comes out, sits next to me, and one of the dudes hands her a shot glass and go to pour, or the chick hands it to her, and the dude goes to pour something into it, and she goes to pull the glass away, and she says, y'all gotta clean this glass out. That's unsanitary. And it just got dead silent. You could hear the crickets and everything. It was dead silent, but what felt like an eternity. And I'm looking around at dudes and stuff, and I'm looking over at her for a split, and I'm trying to feel stupid. And my brain was like, fuck. This is one of those situations where she put me into an ultimatum, and she don't really see it like that. But hey, it's a rock and a hard place. If I don't support her, she gonna scold me and come down with her godliness. And if I do support her, these dudes gonna clown me. And that's when I knew that she didn't have good sense. That she didn't have deductive reasoning.
Wow.
You know, with stuff. Like, so I would always try to keep my eyes open and keep watching. I would be afraid that if maybe like $100 bill or something floated across the street, the diversity of her mind's eye being focused on that $100 bill, she'd be ignorant enough to walk in front of a bus to get it without paying attention.
Oh my, this is.
Somebody say you sterilize an alcohol shot glass. I'm like, what else you supposed to say?
You want the clean glass, the window. Okay, so let me ask you this. Let me reel us back in real quick. So after that, so y'all established, y'all been together for a while now at this point. You assisting her with raising the kids. You know Patrick is a ain't shit nigga at this point. So I want to know, when you were around Patrick, did you ever witness Patrick disciplining the kids? Because I don't know if you're aware of Patrick